Okay, so interestingly enough here, on Rialto, first thing we see, Dallas Field playing a spam comp on the defense. Very, very interesting. This reminisces me of the comp that LA Valiant actually used against the Glads. They were playing this exact same comp, except they were playing the Ash instead of the Hanzo. Which I think maybe the Hanzo's even a little bit better, you know? Ash is good, but sometimes a little bit clunky. Haven't played around with her too much after the buffs though. But I kind of like the fuel start. It's very, very spam heavy. There's like Doa has to get a lot done in my opinion. Because obviously there's the Fair Mercy, you know, and they kind of have to work together to get stuff done. And there's also the Hanzo pick. Hanzo feels like he has to play a bit more safe and alone. Still play on off angles, right? You want the Fair somewhere, and then you want the Hanzo on a completely different angle. But this is a classic spam comp here from the Fuel, which is very interesting and good on Rialto first point, right? Because you have this cover, you have this cover. You have a lot of off angles with Sigmas, yeah. You can let the Hanzo play with the Sigma. Just like how you'd sometimes use the Mei with the Sigma. And then after those covers for the Fair, you've this cover, right? You can play on this right side angle. Pretty interesting. And there's a lot of stuff for Fair here. And then on second point, this is a lull, right? You kind of have to give this up if you're playing Fair because there's no aerial cover here. But then this corner is very good again. This one right here. And this is just a very good corner to hold in general. And Fair has good cover all the way through here, right? You can play all that high ground. So generally, also pretty good Fair map. It's not the best, not the worst. First and second point good. Third point, you want to swap off the Fair. And then on the attack for Shock here, they're playing still a rush comp, right? Because they're playing Lucio Moira. Lucio Moira instantly says to me rush. But they've swapped a Sigma for a Diva. Diva deals with Fair very well. Diva flying up to Fair puts a lot of pressure on her. Make sure the Mercy has to pocket her. And then oftentimes you can run down their tanks while the Mercy is to pocket the Fair, right? That kind of stuff. And they've also interestingly swapped to the Soldier and the Tracer. That's interesting. The Soldier especially is interesting to me. I guess it's just because McCree and Widowmaker are banned. So to still have an answer to the Fair, they've decided to go Soldier. And it's in Rascal's hero pool. But I could also see like a Sombra pick here. Or something that goes a little faster, you know? But overall, Soldier's okay. Good dive character, right? He just ends up shooting shield a lot, though. Against this double shield comp here from the Fuel. So yeah, Shocker are going to have to start playing fast here. And they have to find good engagement. Especially Striker's going to have to find really good flank angles. They have also very low shield here. Smurf on his own only has 600 shield. Oh, the K instantly gets a pick. This is what a comp like the Fuel comp is good at, right? They're not good at brawling. They're good at spamming from very long range. Oh my god, what is that? You didn't even have Scout Arrow, dude. Oop, oop. Oh my. That's a nice shot from the K. Very good job by him. Hello, Gilly. So, Shock's going up top. This is what you want to do because they have to be explosive. Oh, very interesting. Violet's actually swapped over to the Baptiste. So this makes the Soldier make a little more sense, you know? Like, Soldier's good at protecting flex support. and Baptiste is obviously more of a flex support that needs help than the Moira is. Moira is very self-sufficient. You pick her because you don't need to look after her. Now Bap is also pretty self-sufficient, right? He's more self-sufficient than like Zenyatta or Ana. A very interesting pick here from the Shock. And I guess the Bap is also to kind of help the Orisa here too. Dude, what? Why is Gamsu's evil toastering it, dude? And this is actually smart because his shield can't get shot from Mei now. And he can still contest the cart with it. So I kind of love this shield positioning here from Gamsu. It's mega smart. Because he'll have 2 shields up once this one breaks, and he can like infinitely stall cart. Which is his goal, right? Because he has a spam comp with him. What the enemy team can do is run over the Orisa. But now that he's like caged in like this, he can just sit cart. It's his job. He's not gonna let go of that cart. Then Note, Decay, Closer are now fighting over the high ground, which they might want to have to let go of this for a little bit, because when it's like about the close brawl, they're likely not going to win it. But when they get pickings like Decay did on Violet, ooh, has he spawned? Oh yeah, he swapped over to the Baptiste. This is not looking good for him. We've just swapped over to a Massacre. Oh, he's already been hit. Okay, he's fine. But ooh, and Doa actually gets insta-gibbed here. How did that happen? Is he too aggro? Good shield a little bit. This is good positioning. Rascal gets caught. Oh. Yeah, he just gets killed so quick because the soldier and the Baptiste damage combined. He like didn't use the aerial cover enough, maybe. Oh, Gamsu. Gamsu didn't have a second shield yet because he just put it down. But yeah, once your Pharah is dead there, it becomes very rough. Actually, nice push from the Fuel. They got that high ground. They pushed through main. And they broke Gamsu's evil toaster fort because yeah, Doa ended up dying. And then, you know, retaking into Pharah is really hard. And taking into defense Pharah is very hard. But after that, when the Pharah has to start retaking you, you get the space, you know, you get the defensive positioning. Now, Violet ended up dying here, which is very bad for the Shock here, who was like hard snowballing this. Oh, he just gets double rocketed. He thought he had Matrix or something. Nice rockets there from Doa too. Rascal gets slept, but he's fine. And Choi, you see, even though he's half HP, he still has to kind of zone the Pharah. Because the Pharah just flies above the Orisa. And the Orisa gets pressured so hard. But this isn't looking too good for the Shock here. They've had to use, or their Orisa's died, and their tanks are very low. They're just waiting for Violet to get back here. That's a good move. Oh, it did come back in time. Oh, and the Pharah ult comes out for Doha. Good Baptiste drone. Just barely keeps Violet alive. Oh wow, Doa dies first again, and that was a very aggressive barrage. Like, I think that you want to wait for the nano here, no? Oh, Leg Day Gaming is rating you with 28 others. Welcome, people from the Leg Day stream. We are looking at the Dallas Fuel against the San Francisco Shock here. We've just gone over Lijiang, which Fuel actually ended up winning. And they played really, really well there, actually. Especially, just their pacing was good. And they ended up winning the first fights. And Doa's Doomfist is nasty. But now we're on the second map, Rialto. And I would like to welcome you all to join us, as we've just gone over the first sector of the map, where Doha got picked by Rascal and Violet. And now we're on the second part, and Doha is about to get picked again. And we're just dissecting this, why this happened, how this happened. So I hope you all join me in figuring it out. Yeah, so Doha goes mega aggro. They have the nano boost. So Doha should be getting nano boosted because you kind of want to nano barrage. It makes the barrage so much safer. And he's out in the open, you know. It's not like he has cover. But Crimzo's all the way back. Doesn't have sightline. So I guess this wasn't communicated that well by the field. Violet saves himself with the drone. And the jump, actually. Nice Baptiste jump. And then Doha just dies. A good reaction speed from Violet. And I hope you had a very, very nice stream like that. Thank you so much for the raid. Nope. Nanoed. Oh, the K actually ends up getting another pick here. This guy's nasty. Oh my god, the flank. Wait, how does he get... Does he just walk? Does he walk all the way around? Trying to get that early sleep so I can actually stay up normal. Dude, I've actually been very tired today because of this Echo tournament. He actually drops and then he decides to climb back up. Really nice. Dude, I love this too, like going for big flanks like that. You could be spamming from main and shooting the enemy shield, but they're not gonna, like, they have to retake here. And Doa's already dead, so he's not gonna be able to kill the shield before they lose the fight. Because Doa and Closer are already both dead. So I love this decision to go for that flank. And oh my god, he's clean. Oh, does he get Violet too? No, Violet's too good movement. Note pops his ult. Oh, Note actually doesn't hit anybody while using his ult. That's disaster right here. Okay, he used a nano to get the heal, right? He was only 200 HP, he was getting focused. And then he ults, but the ult misses everybody. That was rough. I think he should have commit to ult maybe the Lucio there inside the room. Just kill him. He tried to get the Lucio and Choyobin. That didn't work out too well. He's still not out though. But I think this fight's over for the Dallas Fuel here. And this comp here from Shock with the Baptiste Soldier, it's kind of working out against the Pharah. Now Doa's actually swapped off the Pharah onto the Doom, and Closer swapped to the Lucio. So the Pharah definitely being mostly a first point pick because you have that high ground over here. You have this high ground where the Pharah can play around. You have this high ground. And you have all this area right here. This great Pharah area. But, second point, this first part, where's the Pharah going to play, you know? So if you want an early recontest, the Pharah is not going to help out with that. They've swapped over to the Lucio. But now their comp kind of looks like a hybrid, you know? The K is also swapping over to the Reaper. Doa swapping over to the Mei. So they're making a bunch of swaps to make their comp more brawly. Oh, they've just swapped over to a full brawl comp. So they've swapped 4 characters So ideally, this isn't great Overwatch, right? For the fuel. I'm not gonna lie, that's not pretty. Because why do you start a comp on first point when you're not gonna play that comp on second point? Right? Ideally, you play a composition that is good for the whole map, because then you don't have to do swaps like this, right? Where you swap off 4 of your characters. Now, for the Dallas Fuel, in their defense, right, they did have low ultimates, right? Before their swap, their ultimates weren't very high. You see how they used Valk, their Ana was at 16%, the K was at 31, and they just used Barrage Q. So, if this is they want to swap, then this is the time to swap for the Fuel. Well, I guess it wasn't all that bad. Because they had such low ult percentages, right? But normally, if you play a comp first point, and you can play it second point, then you should probably play it second point. But Shock found a nice counter to the composition. Really good job by Shock. And now Fuel has gone back to what the meta composition really is, right? 250 HP characters. They could have even stayed the Doomfist here, maybe. Or Torb, you know? And then the Reaper, because McCree's unavailable. Reaper's incredibly good because Kree's unavailable, because Kree just counters him really hard with the stun. The stun forces his Ray form very fast. But when Reaper's so free, he gets so much done. And then the Shock composition, it's more divey, you know? It's more divey, it's not as brawly. It's not going to win straight up brawls because, one, they don't have the Moya. The Moya is incredibly good at just keeping the front line alive, staying safe, not getting the team ran over, and like burst healing, you know? That orb plus the healing, the healing coming out from her left click is like 140 healing per second. There's no way Baptiste can do as much as that, you know? Especially when there's a shield in his face from Note, which there should be. And then Tracer's really good, right? But it just doesn't do as much raw DPS output as Reaper. And then the Maze is also good in the front line. So Fuel have swapped over to a very brawly comp. And because they have such low ult percentages, earlier, you know, I was like kind of bashing on them before swapping so many characters. But now looking at it, it kind of makes sense because they were getting countered and now they're the ones countering. Okay, Bongo comes out here for Shock and Visor comes out. So they're using their ults very aggressively, very good from Shock. And the reason that, you know, the Fuel took this fight so fast is because if you fight over here, you get another fight on this point. But if you let the card push just a little bit further, you're not going to get that fight. So I actually kind of like taking that fight over here. And the Shock using 2 ults really quickly isn't very bad for the Fuel. Like, since Fuel was so low on ultimates, that's fine, you know? Goodbye, Moth. Oh, he's alive! Oh, wait! The case killed Rascal. I mean, that's no big deal. Rascal's just gonna get back. Maybe Rascal even wanted to die because then he can swap. Soldier does not do well into this Fuel composition. Oh, he's staying. Oh no, he's swapping. He's baited me, chat. But as I said, because the Fuel took that fight so early, right, over there, the cart was like here somewhere. They now get this very good fight over here. Like, not everybody's back yet, but they have time. So they can just chill, set up, and then rush hard, you know? Rascal swapped over to the Mei. Ideally, Striker's also going to swap over to the Reaper. But for now, the Fuel comp is still very, very good into the Shock comp, right? So Shock kind of has to outplay them. Okay, so the violet ult comes out here. This is dangerous for fuel, right? But they're doing a good job disengaging, playing it slow. They could even put their wall in front of this just to make sure that nobody gets pulled or dies. Oh, no, they're not using the wall. Wait, had they already used the wall? Let me go over to Doa POV real quick. He has wall. Oh, the Diva Bomb comes out together with okay. So it's kind of hectic. He ends up just not walling it. Not sure why. And Shock again, they're using their ultimates very aggressively, and I love this, right? Last fight they used Bongo plus Visor, so 2 ultimates. And now again they're using 2 ultimates really quick. So I think that's super good. They're very low on ults now though, but because the fuel had to make all these swaps, all they had was really Bongo there, and they're trying to farm Coalescence. And this whole Rush Mirror, I feel, and this whole Moira play is all around building Coalescence. Like these 2 teams especially have been playing around their Coalescence so hard. So yeah, 2 dead for the fuel right now. But if they don't have any more... Oh, the K might die here. Okay, this is looking bad for fuel now. Okay, so nice snowball for Shock. Striker's probably going to swap. And so is Violet. Yeah, very smart swaps here for the Shock. Because even if they lose that fight, they're like, hey, we used our ults aggressively. We got ults from the enemy team. And now we make our swaps, you know. That's why I love them using these ults, especially like aggressively and then clean swapping from either side, to be honest. Gamsu Shu gets poked away. Fuel's going high guard. Fuel now, after 2 fights with all their swaps, right, they've built up all their ultimates except for Decay Ultimate, who's been a little bit slow, but Reaper's mostly a cleanup character, you know? So if they're not winning fights, it's hard for Reaper to get big value. I love this positioning from the K2. Early ult from Note. Oh, and the Reaper ult and the Bongo come out. So actually, maybe too many ults used for the fuel. Because if you look at that from the bigger perspective, right? Shock came in with 1 ultimate. They used it on the Sigma ultimate. And now they have nothing, right? Crimzo's ulting. So maybe they didn't need the Bongo and the Reaper ult. Maybe just one of them. Not sure. Oh, he gets booped away too. But they're still going to win this fight. And I can't help but feel that this Bongo wasn't necessary. Because 4 ults is 2-1 just feels so much here. They still have 2 really good ultimates, right? The Mayo and the Beat. But if they want to have a good time or like want to hold this 3rd point, they have to hold for 3 minutes. So you have to look at the big picture. They have to make better ult plans than that. And they did so really well on the control map just now. Yeah. We continue. Okay. But Dallas go very aggressive. Rascal yeets in his Mayo. He's just like, Note's not gonna eat this, lol, forehead. I guess he sees Note far away. No, Note's right with the team. But Rascal just has massive cojones. He's like, Note, you're garbage, kid. You're not gonna eat this. He just throws it in. Note looks for the eat. No. It's moving the wrong way. Where did the mail even land? Oh, man, it's right there. The Note could have definitely eaten that if it would have moved to the right side. We go again in slow motion. Dude, it's so hard though. If it's like live speed, you just hear the mail. I get that he presses shift really well. Oh, he gets pulled. Wait, does he get pulled? What? I'm so confused. No, he's already pulled. So he does not get pulled. Dude, if he would look to his right now, he would have eaten it. That's sad. Nice try though. Also a really mad lad male there from Wrestle. That could have definitely been eaten. But they end up using 2 ults, win the fight quickly. Not the end of the world there for the field, since they didn't use any ults and they still have another fight on this point. So yeah, in mirror matchups like this, especially on payload maps, and cough maps too for that matter, just the ult economy is just so important. Like you don't want to overspend or underspend, right? So you want good ult efficiency. Bongo comes in for Smurf, and what I've noticed a lot with Smurf's bongos is that he doesn't really try to hide them. He just plops them down. You know, very aggro with the team. And if you do it like this, I think you should go really aggressive with it. Because if you just stay passive, then your bongo's just gonna die. So let's see what happens. Yeah, their bongo is getting spammed. Oh, it gets Mei walled on top of it, actually. That's really interesting. Nice Mei wall there from Doha, who also Mei ults Choyobin. Wait. How does the bongo just disappear like that? Did it get killed? No, right? It got walled on top of. Smurf puts down the bongo. Yes. Okay. What? Does Maywall destroy bongo? Because I know it hides it, right? I know if you put the Maywall on top of the bongo, it doesn't hit anybody. Okay, so after the Maywall, let's see if the bongo's still there. You can see the icon. Oh, yeah, it's back. Okay, so it just freezes it for the duration. That makes a lot of sense. So it's still good to Maywall the bongo. But putting your wall on top of it is pretty big value, actually. Because that just denied it for at least like 4 or 5 seconds. It did bait out wall, though. And now the bongo... But the bongo gets ran over by the cart. Oh, no. Don't call leg day. Don't clip this for leg day. You'll hate this. Nobody tell him. Look. It's here. It's damage boosting everybody. And then in a second's notice, it shall be gone. Bloop. It's gone. It's out of here. No more bongo for you. God. That's a Kano. I mean, they were not doing too hot in that fight because of the male. But that's funny. Would you have preferred if Smurf ulted behind the pillars? Honestly, yes. I think it's rough though because you want to position aggressively with your Orisa, right? Because your Orisa's kind of the front line of the team. But at the same time, good bongo positioning can win fights very easily. Bongo lasts for 15 seconds and it gives a 15% damage boost to everybody. So I would have liked it maybe if Smurf would have put it over here or over here. It wouldn't have gotten too good LOS though. Maybe over here. And then with like a shield like this. And then he himself could have went over it. It's hard, right? Because his teams, they're like giving up like this. So you can't really put it like this because then the fuel just goes like that. And they kill it. Or they should go like that and kill it, you know? You never know. So putting it out in the open like this, you can just coal it, you know? And as you can see here, Doa walled it. So where could Smurf have ulted? Maybe Smurf could have been where Striker is right now, like doubled down on this positioning. Maybe he could have just placed it over here. Oh wow, that's really big. And then Shock could have gone more aggressive, right? It's not like they had to sit back. It's not like Rascal had to be here. Rascal could have been here. And then when the fuel walk in, you place that bongo down. It's not gonna get walled behind a pillar, or it could be, you know. But then it's gonna live after like it did now anyway. And then I guess it wouldn't be ran over by the cart. But I mean, that running over by the cart, that's unfortunate. Can't do too much. But yeah, I think Striker's doing a great job here of like going to the right side, pushing note. So if Smurf places it here, it would still get everybody, you know, with the damage boost, but it wouldn't be coalable. It'd be the pillar, or there'd be the pillar in front of it, yeah. Oh wow. Still really nice wall from Doa. Good game knowledge. And then Gamsu comes in. They also beat. So actually, this fight really is like, even though I'm bashing on Smurf here a little bit, this fight really is about. And note even ults. They're panicking. Look, they used like Dallas Fuel might have won that fight, but that's a horrible fight for them. Right? They used 4 ultimates. And Shock used 1. And now Dallas Fuel next fight, they're not going to have any major impact ults. Maybe they're going to have Reaper ult, right? But if you just save the Sigma shift for that, it's not too big of a deal. And Shock is going to have at least 3 ults, right? So that's a very, very rough fight for the Dallas Fuel. And it's really why you have to play the ult economy game better. And I'm really blaming Note for that ultimate. That ultimate was not necessary. He's been playing a great Sigma so far, but that was overused. Okay, Shock comes back in. I start pushing out. Interesting wall here from... Oh, this is actually a pretty smart wall from the field because they see Striker teleport in. So then they wall off the front line here and they go for Striker. That's really smart. So yeah, the K's forced out. He's used Wraith. They use Speed Boost to go after the K because if Reaper uses Wraith, he's very vulnerable, right? Like, Reaper is a tanky boy. He's 250 HP. But what really makes him so fucking stupid, and what makes Mei so fucking stupid as well, is just their invulnerabilities, right? Because they can get healed while doing it. So Reaper and Mei both having an invulnerability and being able to like reset their HP with that, it's really what makes them so tanky. So Smurf tries to line up the pull with Decay's Unwraith. Doesn't hit it, the wall comes out. And that Violet ult was a little bit early. But Striker's also TPing in, right? So really good wall there from Doha. Doesn't force the... What's it called? The lamp from Crimzo. But this Choryobin ult is massive. Like he gets 4 people. There's no beat for closer. So even if the lamp comes out, as long as the shock goes mega aggro, they should be able to finish people off after killing the lamp, right? So everybody lands in the lamp. This lamp's gotta die now. Oh, everybody's alive. But because the shock's so aggressive, they get all the space. And you see how the ult economy kind of messed fuel up there? And even though I feel like they couldn't have done much better that fight, right? But just because there was the Sigma ult and the Reaper ult and the Moira ult, it's just really rough. And that's why they needed to at least save the Sigma ult that last fight, because then they would have been able to make an aggressive play. Oh yeah, good ult economy there from Shock. Kind of what one of that, and then the counter on first point, right? Like being able to counter that fair Hanzo spam comp from the Dallas Fuel like instantly is what kind of rolled them through the first point, and then the good ult economy rolled them through the second and third point. Good swaps too. I kind of love the Shock for this too. Like, they'll say, hey, fuck your shitty spam comp. We'll go the comp we practiced this week, and we'll play it to death. We'll play it on every single map, and we'll figure out how to play it. This is kind of like GOATs, right? I could even see them like go for the spawn camp here. Maybe it's not as good without Reinhardt, but okay, we continue. So yeah, the Dallas Fuel again going with their spam comp. And again, I feel like on this first point is great. You got this cover. You got, I think you can even fly over here. So yeah, you have this cover too, where you can play. You have this cover. There's a lot of cover for Farah here, where she can like kind of peek spam, you know? He doesn't have to always be in LOS. And the shot comp is very fast, right? But it's hard to deal with Farah because there's no Diva on this lineup. And Diva's kind of like really good at dealing with Farah. Like when I think of counter Farah, I don't think McCree, I don't think Soldier, I don't think Baptiste, I think of Diva. Diva's god tier against Farah. Okay. Shocks. Nice pull rock there. Instantly hits closer. Doesn't end up getting him, but nice pull rock. And they go inside. And I think they're just looking to rush somebody here. Like they're looking to either rush the Orisa or the Sigma. Can't really rush the Sigma right now because he's making a good rotation and Hata high ground. But they're going in. This is rough, right? Because Dallas Fuel's kind of read them like a book, I feel. They've taken high ground with their Sigma, who is one of the best targets for Shock to run over, right? Sigma is... he has to get in range to make his shots count, right? Because he doesn't have that long range, on like 18 meters or something. So, to get value of Sigma, he has to be a little bit close. So, speeding on him oftentimes isn't that hard. But, Dallas Fuel have taken the high ground here. So has Crimzo in the back here. He's another target you could speed over. And even Gamsu is starting to play far away. So yes, a good spam setup here. Crimzo gets pulled though. And yeah, nice pull so far from the shot. Pull rock. And you have to remember that, you know, Dallas Fuel decided to play the spam comp into the shock here. So it kind of has to work for them because this comp isn't as good on second and third point. Oh, Note's already getting ran over. Wait, how did Note drop? Ooh, he just dropped. I mean, I guess it's really hard to get value for him here. Okay, so now he's on high ground. He's spamming away. Their Anna dies. Oh, and he just drops. Could he just stayed on high ground here, especially when Anna's dead? I think he could have. I just played here and then maybe ran over here and then used this wall here to like hit the enemy team still. It's not as good as this angle obviously, but now he gets ran down. Looks like Mercy pushed note off. Somebody's saying in chat. If Closer pushed him, he's a griefer. That's what I'll say about that one. Fucking show me that one more time. Oh no, Closer! Closer, you're a griefer. There's just no way. Ah, yes, note is over here. Let me just go ahead and give him a quick whopping. Let me give him a quick pushing. He's trying to get the angles. I don't like him getting the angles. Nope, I'm feeding you to the sharks. Here you go, Note. Note's like, no! This is Sparta! No! Note's like, oh shit, oh shit. Shark's like, wait, what is that idiot doing? Why is he over there? Shark's like, Striker's like, get him, get him. He's a dumbass. We're getting him. Everybody's like, yeah, get him, get him. They got him. Okay, so the Shark's gotten 2 picks to stop rushing people so far. Crimso's just spawned, Note's still dead. This is looking bad for the fuel. Because they picked this comp as a counter, you know? So it has to be a counter. And now, if Violet can get his Coalescence here, that's a really good play onto Farrah Mercy. Like, you can pull Coalescence, rush them down, right? Oh, another pull, another rock. They hit every time. So clean. Actually, res note. Wait, so Doa's just shifted up. So this has been called out, right? But the way to get out of the pull is either to shift, to fall hard, like to fall instantly once you see the pull come in, because a vertical movement sideways doesn't go as fast as Farrah, but actually going down, like going straight down, makes you very fast, right? Gravity and stuff. So if you see pull come in, you can either either side of a building, get away, because that makes horizontal movement very fast, or you can like go straight down, or you can shift up, right? There's a few ways you can deal with it. Obviously, he doesn't have shift here. And it doesn't look like he can E a building here. Oh, he could have eat this building, maybe. Yeah, he sees the pull come in. Closer over here is going for a res. And he doesn't E away. Until it's too late, I guess. Yeah, he still tries it, but he's already getting pulled. Yeah. So you need to like kind of dodge the pull as it's coming in. Now Note gets rezzed. This time he's like, oh no, I'm not going back in. Not going back in there. The K's still on high ground. He's doing a lot of work actually. But just Shock being able to pull out one piece at a time from the fuel. First they get the Anna, then they get the Sigma, now they get the Farrah. Just means that the fuel don't have enough spam to like get that critical mass spam in. Where they've killed both shields and then Shock can't do anything basically. So Shock's constant rotations have been very clean. And now they have the Coalescence too, right? They can play very aggressive with that. Nice wall from Rascal. Blocks the pull rock. You go inside again. And they Coal. And actually this time, Dallas haven't been able to set up, right? Like, Note's on the low ground. Crimso's on the low ground. So if Shock wants, they can now run them over. Which they might do here. Oh, but Doa comes in with a great barrage. And this is the thing about not having D.Va, right? If Choi was D.Va there, would have instantly been able to eat all of that. But Sigma's just not as good at eating barrage. So nice barrage there from the field. Let's actually go to Doa POV there. Ooh, he's over. The pull comes in. Oh, and Choi just barely isn't able to react to it too. With the shift. Oh, he was off 1 second off having it. Imagine if he was able to eat all of that. But yeah, that's probably the best part of this map for Pharah though. And Shock held him there for 2.5 minutes. Because this is a very tight corridor. Pharah spamming here is very good. And there's a lot of high ground cover everywhere. Now this part is also pretty good for Pharah because she can just float around here, right? Then peek over and then get shots in. But after that, it's starting to get rough for the field. Striker swaps over to the Tracer. Which is good, right? He can like solo duel Crimso. As Tracer. And as Reaper, he's not going to do as much, right? Like, what's gotten most of Shock's stuff so far is pull rock or Maywall. The Reaper hasn't really done too much. So swapping off the Reaper to Tracer makes a lot of sense. She's way more mobile. And she can, like, finish off squishies that are low and distract Ana. So, yeah. Shock is speeding over now. They've regrouped. Doha is peeking over. The pull dragon comes in. It's kind of off center. The dragon isn't positioned that well. Okay, the dragon isn't positioned that well. But a pull dragon doesn't really do too much. Well, it really could have, right? Because Shock just had to use their speed boost here to get over this whole bridge area. So now there's no speed boost. There's obviously no Matrix to eat it. And if they would have dragon maybe like this, right? A very scuff drawing here. And then the Gamso pull would have gone right down middle. Maybe that would have been better. Because now the pull comes out, right? But they're not actually pulling the people into the Hanzo ult, which is disastrous. Right. Like, they can still contest. Especially Violet here doing a good job to be able to contest. The Rock comes in too. So they're still killing Smurf and Choi. Doa's doing a lot. He's nanoed. Fuel's hitting a lot of ults here. Yeah. Fuel with a bunch of ultimates there did a great job. How did Rascal actually use his ultimate? Didn't get too much value out of that. Ends up freeze. Oh no! Oh. Oof. They're already 3 down or 2 down, so I don't think it would have mattered. But it's just ugly. I feel for him. He freezes. No, so he cannot eat the ultimate. And then he just gets hit in the face by Doa. This fight looks pretty much over though, even if he got that mailed off. So it's not the end of the world. Striker's still up. But yeah. The healers for the fuel are also still up. Alright, Doa with a 4k the first fight, I think, and now a 5k. Maybe we'll even get a 6k right here. A 6k, yeah. I'm getting a lot of value out of this Pharah. Because there's no Diva on the Shock, right? They're still running the Sigma. And this makes a lot of sense because Choi's 70% the ult. But still, it's rough. And Rascal swapping over to the Soldier here. Specifically against the Pharah. It worked earlier. But I feel like it was more of the combination with the Diva that worked earlier than... Now, the bad thing here for the fuel is that... Though that's good right now, right? There's a lot of cover for him. But if the fight happens on cart... I guess this is still good cover right here to like float above because then Rascal has to peek to like get him, right? So aerial cover still is great for Doa. Was another barrage. Yeah, you see how he can like float above and then it's hard for the Shock to do too much. Shock goes high ground. Oh, Doa goes in with a barrage instantly. Holy crap. And I like how they're putting the shield in front of him too. That's great. Getting so much value out of Pharah right now. Maybe it was worth for Choi to instantly swap off the Sigma after that first fight. Anyway. Another barrage used for Doa. Another 2k. Not a few stuff, both their tank ults, but Shock is hitting a bunch of ults now, right? So they should really take this retake. They have their Coalescence, they have their Bongo, so I expect that's the combo to use first, because Bongo Coal is a really good combo, especially to deal with Pharah Mercy. And there's just not that much cover anymore, right? If you have to see where this Pharah Mercy has to play, they're playing so deep. Hey Shirley, welcome to the stream. So Shock's punching out here with a bunch of ults. Shield comes out on the Bongo, good shield. Though was able to get an angle on it though, so he kills it. Oh, are they even gonna get Note here? Oh. Okay, they're gonna get Crimzo, which is better. So yeah, good use of like super aggro ults there for Shock. And especially no way they weren't winning that fight, right? If they played that well, they used free ults right off the get-go. And even though Phil used a Bongo here, Shock have a lot more engage power, right, with their team because they have that Lucio. And this point isn't as good for Pharah anymore. And yeah, they're swapping off completely. Ooh, and they threw away a lot of ults there for the fuel. Like, they've been doing so good. But as I've been saying, like, this specific point isn't great for their composition. Because there's no more aerial cover in this area, right? So it's very hard for the Pharah to get in. She has to stay very far away. Oh. And Anna's like the fuel can like or Shock can set up on the Anna a lot because Striker is on the Tracer now. There's not too much to protect the Anna. So I don't think the fuel comp is good here. Do I think that swapping off free ultimates is a good choice? It's the best choice they could make, but maybe there's a flaw in their composition at that point, right? But yeah, I understand their swap. But now they're so far down in ults. Or like, they're not too far down in ults, because if you actually look at it, all Moth has is beat right on them. But that was the fight they should have won, because the Shock just used free ultimates last fight, right? You think about it logistically. Okay. Enough ranting about ults and ult value. You can still win fights despite ults sometimes. If you play them correctly.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's
Thank you
here.
for the follow, DGN. And starting off, the fuel come in very aggressively. But they don't try to take the high ground from the shock. I think this high ground is very strong. But also it's very hard to take, right? Because if the shock just hold all up here, then the May gets a lot of value. Because it's another choke. So them not coming through the choke makes a lot of sense here. It's just hard, right, to set Doa up for success here. When, you know, where's he gonna punch? Where it's good, you know? It's rough. Anyway, pull Sigma ult comes in for note. Good combo. And then the beat comes in for Moth. Great beat. Okay. Yeah. Pretty even fight so far. Both teams now are completely neutral again, with no ultimates. Nice block on the punch again for Smurf. Yeah, Joadis gets dominated. Very, very good stuff there from Shock, actually. And they just kind of sat there and waited. And this is what I noticed the Shock has done all series, honestly. They've been playing slow when they haven't had the coalescence. Well, not earlier, right? Because Fuel was playing such a hard spam comp. But on the cough just now. They're playing slow when Violet doesn't have coalescence. They're playing more in the back. They're waiting for the enemy team to go in. And they're playing more of the shield war, you know, and they're playing off their pulls. And if they get good walls, then they go. But if they don't get good walls, they're completely fine. Just kind of playing slow. And once Violet gets coalescence, that's when they hit that button, you know. That's when they go really, really hard. Which I think that's really interesting. Like, playing off your coalescence so much. And I think it's good, actually, too, because it farms so fast, you know. You could get one basically every fight. But now they have coalescence, so you'll see how aggressive they're going to be. Watch, watch, watch. I haven't even watched them act, but they're going to do this. Actually, did Smurf just use his Fortify? Oh, yeah, he did. Why did he do that? What triggered Smurf to use his Fortify? I'm confused. Oh, the pull. Okay, but Note also blocked it with his shield. That makes sense. Yeah, Smurf gets pulled there, he's dead. Good job from Choi to also shield that, but... Oh, watch, watch. Wait, they're playing so passive now. I guess they just want the Bongo Coal. Bongo plus Coalescence, very good combo. Again, I don't like Smurf's Bongo positioning, though. If I were to give Shock one tip, it's Smurf has to place his Coalescence a bit more out of the enemy LOS. Like, he could have placed it on the back of the stairs here, and then it wouldn't have been shot, but he placed it up front, and now it just got killed instantly. I think that's a big error for Smurf right now in his gameplay. His Bongo placement isn't overfought. Yeah. I mean, he did get pulled, but still, he didn't have to do it. Call it Coalescence. Do I have to call it something else? Anyway, the Bongo dies. Coal comes out for both teams. Pretty big Sigma ult from Choi. Gets nope. Yeah, and then Choi, nice ultimate, and it's again. Shock didn't play this fight that well. They just had more ultimates than the enemy team. Right, they had 2 tank ults and a support ult. That's how they won it. Like Fuel's Cole was way better than Shock's Cole. It was good ult value for Fuel there. And now they have to go in and win this next fight. Now Mayult's really good. And Rascal's Mayults are also really good. But the Mayult comes out. It's not too big. It's only Gamsu, and Gamsu can kind of shift it. The beat also comes out here. And no, he uses his ult. Beat comes out for Shock. Smurf's already dead. This is looking pretty good for Dallas right now. This fight was really good for Dallas. I think what made it so good is that they were able to kind of bait out the enemy Mayult, and they didn't really get hit by it. Look, if you look here. Wait, no, this is not far enough. If you look here, they're kind of all stacked, you know. So Rascal thinks, hey, this is a really good Mayult for me. Let's go in, pull Mayult. Go. Good thinking. But when he actually goes in, all of the fuel kind of disperse. I'm not sure if closer... Yeah, closer speed boosts everyone. So they can all get out, you know, before it's even thrown in. And then Rascal kind of has to choose. The backline's over here. The Doomfist is over here. Note's ulting, so he's also dodging. And Decay's like frontlining. So that's a really good dodge here. From the Dallas Fuel. Who reacted at Mayult, and they get a good pull Sigma ult right. And then they also beat just to keep Gamsu alive, I guess. Might not even have needed it, but since Moth also uses his beat now, definitely worth it. So yeah, really good fight from Fuel actually. And now Violet's ulting too, which feels like a waste. Rascal's dead, Smurf's dead. Violet's now, you know, the rest of Shock's getting out, I guess. He's smurfing to help Choi Yobin. Does Choi live? I guess so. Maybe it is worth just to keep Choi up, because Smurf and who was it? Rascal can now come back in and they can actually get a 6v6. Or at least Rascal isn't going to be back in time. So it's always going to be a 5v6. But at least Choi has really good positioning here. It's probably worth it to Koa there, since you get it so fast. See, if you look at this bongo from Gamsu, which they might or might have not have needed, right? I love this positioning because it was in card cover. And it hits everybody. And because they're playing aggressive, they just, you know, it can't get killed. And Bongo Coalescence is a really good combo again. To make that Coalescence do 50% extra damage. Yeah, they just focused on Smurf because Smurf has to touch. Rascal's not even there yet. So that's a good fight again for the Fuel. But they still have to end this with more than a minute. And the way it's looking right now is they're going to end with 0 time if they win the next 2 fights. And against Shaka's good old economy. They have the Bongo, the Choi ult, and the Reaper ult. So I really feel like this whole bear start for the Fuel might have been great first point. But if you look at the whole map, unless you win that first point in like one fight, then it's not worth, you know. If you win the first fight straight away, then it's worth. But if you're not going to win that first fight, and they took 1.5 minutes just to get around the first corner, it's definitely not worth. Okay, Bongo comes out for Smurf. Again, it gets insta-killed. But this time it's not because of bad positioning in my opinion. This time it was just the K having really good setup position to kill the bongo. Because if you watch the K here, he's probably going to hide somewhere. Yeah, he comes like behind the enemy team. Maybe he could have put... This is just good from Dallas, I think. I don't think there's too much wrong with this bongo. Like, where else would he have placed it? Maybe behind the cart, right here. That could have been a great spot. But then the K still with kind of the same flank does the same work. I'm not sure. Good flank from him though. 2-2 shot that bongo. Boy sees him, goes to fight him. Nice wall from Rascal. Yeah, just a nice speed boost in. From the shock. Kind of catch his fuel off guard when... You know, if you have the Doom, you're really good when you use those cooldowns. But if those cooldowns are down, you're not doing as hot, you know? Oh, and Doa kind of does nothing here. He's really far away from the fight because he expected the shock maybe to come out of here. But shock had good pathing. They went straight for cart. So Doa should have maybe been around here. Or been a little further back with his team, you know. But both DPS from the field are a little bit too deep. So Gamsu and Note just get ran over. Right here. Yeah. Striker comes in. The Bongo Reaper ult, right, forces the Fortify. And then Note gets frozen because, man. At that point, even though the K ults, which obviously isn't too good of an ult, basically over. And now Fuel only have one fight left. Shock has another Moira ult, and they have a Sigma ult. It's pretty even ults on both sides. Woo! Yawn, yawn. Oh. Everybody goes, oh, a beautiful rock there. Holy crap from Choyomen. So Doa doesn't have too much choice but to punch from the front. Because they want to rush. He wants to use his cooldowns quickly and then use his ult. Like he did earlier on Koff, right? And there it worked great. But Choi here. Doha goes for punch. He doesn't walk far enough out of LOS. And he just kind of punches into Choi's predicted rock. And then gets one shot before he can even ult. That is very rough for the fuel. And the Sigma, that's actually a good Sigma because he gets the enemy Sigma right. Rascal actually does a good job of not using Ice Block. This is something that I think is underrated. Like not using defensive cooldowns, like let's say Transcendence, you know, or Ice Block or Wraith Form, because you know you're gonna live through the Sigma ult is really good. Because now if Rascal gets rushed on, he can just Ice Block after, you know? If you know you're not going to die to an ult like that, and you know your team has got you, then saving it is super good. Because you see how aggressive Rascal can still be, just because he knows, hey, I have Ice Block. If they focus me, boom. I got that. Now, 4 seconds invulnerable still. Well, I feel a lot of other Mays would have pressed that shift button in that Sigma ult. Rascal had the presence of mind to just, you know, not use the shift button. Be greedy with it. And save it. And that's why he was able to go that aggressive afterwards, right? That is very impressive to me. It's those little things. And now the Dallas Fuel are staggering in. But I feel like the overall on that map isn't, hey, the Shock Blade's so much better than the Dallas Fuel. It's Shock were able to get more value out of their ults. They had a more continuous plan throughout the whole map. And I feel like Dallas Fuel really only had a plan for first point. And then second and third point, be damned, you know. If we do good enough on first point, we just win the map. Which obviously wasn't the case here. But good showing from the Shock there. And now it's 1-1 in the series. Wow. Third map is Nambani. Okay. So again, Dallas Fuel on the spam comp. Interestingly enough, Crimso's on the Baptiste on this map. I think it's because Baptiste 1 has also really good synergy with Farah rate. You can drone plus barrage, which is a really good combo.